Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Jay from Keeping It Real, your arbiter of gaming news and commentary, hitting you off with that real deal gaming news. So, what's going on, everybody? I would appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe if you dig my content. So, yes, this is yet another video. Just want to thank you for everybody for checking out for my video today. I'm gonna, like usual, dig right into this. This is one I'm gonna dedicate to a subscriber that asked me had some questions about Xbox capacity to be able to put out first party IPs from their studios. Did they have the studio support to be able to do this? And this I'm going to give a shout out to Jason Canis. I hope I'm pronouncing the last name right. That he hit me in the comment box, and I thought this was worthy enough to actually do a video about, to dig into, what is the Microsoft Studios? What do they have, and how many studios do they have, and will they actually have the support for Scorpio, to support Scorpio for the long haul in regards to first party RPs and, and developing more games. So like usual, I'm going to go ahead and dig right into this. First of all, I would like to say that for those who don't know, Phil Spencer is a guy that before he took head of Xbox, he was the head of first party IPs and development. So for Microsoft. So we're talking about a guy who's a real gamer and who has a history of creating first party RPs. That's where he came from. So this was first on his mind. Obviously, this is something that's very important to him. So first party RPs is going to be a big part of what the Scorpio is going to be all about, which I believe we're going to see at this year's E3. But I want to dig more into their studio. So I wanted to first talk about Turn 10. Now, you guys all know Turn 10. Turn 10 is a studio that, develops the Forza games. And I have this linked in the description where Turn 10 is actually going to be developing on something different from a racing game. So we already know that Microsoft is putting Turn 10 to work on not only the racing games, they're splitting the studio up into having them also develop and work on another new IP for Microsoft. So that's just one right there. Then we go to the Coalition, which is, the guys who used to be Black Tusk that are developers of Gears of War that we love so much. Now, if I link this also in the description where they talk about that prior to Microsoft making Gears of War 4, they were already working on a new IP, which was actually at the time called the new Halo, which was going to be the new successor to Halo, being as big as Halo. So that's interesting in itself, where this was going to be a whole new IP that was going to be as big as Halo or bigger. So they've been working on that a year and a half, even before Gears of War 4. And now, obviously, that's now that Gears of War 4 is out, that's going to open Coalition up to be, once again, working back on that title. And I'm pretty sure they're already working on it. And that may be one of the new IPs that we're going to be seeing. So that's just two studios right there. You also have Rare, which is, and they can do a whole host of all types of different games. You have Playground Studios, which is another developer that, that we can be seeing a lot from. You have, I even hear there's talks with Sega, Sega getting back in the game, and developing for Microsoft. Phil Spencer, as you all know, has took a trip to Japan. So, and as he says, that trip went really well. So don't be surprised if we be seeing a lot of JRPGs picking up and a lot of second party developers from Japan jumping on board of the Scorpio. There's even talks that we may be seeing Nero and Nier Automata coming to the Xbox due to the fact of that Japanese visit. So we have a whole host of studios that are already developing games for the Scorpio, and not to mention companies like Monolith that has Shadow of War. We know that's going to be a Scorpio is going to be the hottest on the Scorpio, and I haven't even got to Bethesda. Now, Bethesda is that there's leaks about Bethesda that they're actually working on an exclusive game for Microsoft that we are going to be seeing at E3. So, and that was just to name a few studios. Now, the beauty in all of this is that if you really break it down, now I just named a few a list of studios that are hard at work at developing games for Microsoft. So there's nothing for anybody to be concerned for when it comes to studios. But here's the beauty in all of this.
I love her a lot. I wasn't thinking
Microsoft
it
has
was...
developed
Think about
this
it like
console,
this. I mean, I
the
always
Scorpio,
say
to
that
be a console that is
I told him
very
to fix
easy
that
to develop for.
goddamn
As you
AC.
guys will remember, if you when you check out that Digital Foundry review or reveal of the Scorpio specs, we learned there that it took them just only a day to do the port of Forza 6 at native 60 native 4K 60 frames per second, and that only took them a day. So the whole point of the Scorpio is to make sure that it can be developed for quickly and efficiently. So if we're talking about ports or that could be done in just a day, imagine when it comes to third-party developers, when they port their games over, not only they'll have more than enough time just to port their game, they could just be taking time to just be adding extra graphical fidelity, adding extra, effects to the game. There's so much more that they could have room to do. And then think about how efficiently they in what time they were able to do that, saving them money and having a better product for them to be able to sell more copies of that game. And that's the point. The point is that Microsoft is going to be saving developers a lot of time and thus saving them a lot of money. And once the word gets out about that, developers are going to go nuts on the Scorpio because they're going to see that the Scorpio is the best platform to develop for and also allow them the creativity to build whatever game that they want to build. And that's when you're going to see a lot of crazy things happening when it comes to developers just running amok on the Scorpio. And so it's not only just going to be basically that Microsoft has the studios to support the Scorpio. It's going to be a lot of third-party developer support. Once they really start digging into the Scorpio and seeing just how easy it is to develop for and just how much room that they have to create whatever game that they wanted to. And that's what the Scorpio was designed for. It was designed to be very developer friendly, to allow for developers to have the room. You got 8 gigabytes of RAM space for them to just go wild and create whatever game that they want to and not have any limitations. And that's the point. And that's not even getting on the point that Microsoft seen it fit to build DirectX 12 directly into the Scorpio, allowing for the Scorpio to eliminate commands, reducing them all the way down to just 11. Thousands upon thousands of commands being reduced all the way to just 11. So imagine what that's going to do for developers to simplify all of their, developing for games and also developing on a Scorpio when they can simply use DirectX 12 that's built directly into the Scorpio. Imagine once that effect starts to take place where a lot of these developers, especially first-party developers, they're just going to simply be using DirectX 12, making their time more efficiently and more quicker to develop their games for. When that catches on with third-party, it's going to be ridiculous. So I just think that's going to be a mark where Microsoft's vision is really going to take hold, where developers can see just how easy and more efficient it is to develop for the Scorpio in regards to using DirectX 12 and in regards to just having the graphical power to be able to have native 4K 60 frames per second and just a higher graphical fidelity game and have 8 gigabytes of RAM to be able to expand their game to whatever they can imagine. I mean, I think just having that platform is going to be a huge thing for Microsoft in regards to their studios as well as third-party studios. So if anyone was concerned, don't be. I think this is laying out a vision for the future, and I think Xbox gamers especially has nothing to be concerned about. So, man, until then, man, hit me up in the comment box if you have any questions. And this is Jay from Keeping It Real. I'm gone.